Hello, mamas. Welcome to Fed Mama. I'm Falmata, a pediatric nurse with over 7 years experience working in pediatric unit. So I'm also a mom. I'm experienced nurse as also a mom. So that makes me an expert in that field. So today we are kicking off our malnutrition awareness campaign where we want to enlighten women about malnutrition, how to prevent it, how to even know the signs and symptoms and everything. Honestly, when we hear about malnutrition, the first thing that comes in our mind is hungry, like hungry child, skinny child with tiny legs and everything. But actually, malnutrition is more than that because malnutrition is the child is not getting enough nutrients or the child is getting the wrong type of food or wrong kind of food. So, and guess what? Both problem exists in our society. So, because of that, we raise an awareness, especially in this September, where we talk, where is malnutrition week. So, we said, let's teach our mamas on how to spot malnutrition and how to obtain it and kick it out of the country. It makes me remember my patient in pediatric unit, pediatric emergency. We have two patients that are all dealing with malnutrition or withdrawal. The first, a 3-year-old baby who is very sick, like who is sick or more often and very skinny, underweight, and everything, and the mother Angela and the mother keep feeding that baby with pap and rice, and she thought that the baby is not hungry. So why is he not growing or hasn't started? But she didn't know that the child is not getting enough nutrients for growth and development. And the second child is her. The mother is educated. She has all the fancy stuff and everything, but she keep feeding that baby with biscuits, snacks, shawarmas, and all the kind of processed and junk food. That child is obese, and she thought that that child is healthy, but despite that he is obese, he continuously gets sick and everything. And she didn't know that the child is not getting the right nutrients. So two different children, yes, they are both suffering from malnutrition. That's why we need to understand the two phases of malnutrition. When we say malnutrition, two phases of malnutrition, either over or under nutrition. So let's define what is malnutrition. Malnutrition means imbalance between nutrients or poor nutrition. When child doesn't get the right balance of nutrients he needed for growth and development in right proportion, including vitamins, energy, protein, minerals, and everything. There are two main types of malnutrition. As we cited example about the story of patients in APU. So the undernutrition means the child is not getting enough nutrients for growth and development. While overnutrition, the child is getting too much of the wrong foods. So let's break it down one by one so that you can understand it very well. Undernutrition is being classified under three, like you will notice under nutrition in three different forms. You will notice that the child that is not getting enough nutrients, you will end up having wasting, muscle wasting. Muscle wasting means the child is too thin for his height or for the expected child of his age. So, like for example, a 3-year-old child looks very skinny with visible ribs showing because their diet is mainly watery, or and this can is usually happen very quickly and is very dangerous for the baby. The next feature is stunting. You will notice that the child is too short for his expected age. So, like a 5-year-old looking like a 3-year-old, something is not different. And this usually occur because of the lack of good nutrients for the first 1,000 days. 1,000 days of life of children is like babies is very, very important. So, because of that, we need to know that because it's not just affecting their it's not just affecting them at the time, it also creating a long term effect or damage for the child. The next thing is underweight. Yes, when the child is too light for expected for those for the expected age, when toddler become too small or too lighter than those of his age, that means the child is underweight. So undernutrition is very common in families where they are struggling with poverty, food insecurity, or lack of knowledge about balanced meals. And that makes me remember one patient that we admitted into pediatric unit. That baby was brought in. The mother and the father are highly educated. They they are VIP patients, but they end up having malnutrition. And when we brought the news to the parents, they tell us that no way, because they can afford every kind of food to feed their child. So how is it possible that the baby having malnutrition? And then we broke it down to them that how you feed your child, and they told us that they used to feed that baby with all the junk food, shawarmas, biscuits, and every types of processed food. And then we told them that all this processed food is not a healthy food for a child, and their child end up having obesity, and they thought that everything is okay. The child shows that he is healthy, he's enjoying the meal and everything, but little do they know that they are harming their child, and that's why awareness is very important. Let's talk about the second one, overnutrition. Yes, overnutrition is something happen in children, and mostly parents mistook it to a child is enjoying or the child is healthy, and they keep feeding that baby with noodles, biscuit, fried snacks, and sugary food and everything. And overnutrition is quite very dangerous because it can lead to childhood obesity, diabetes, heart problems in later life. So parents, remember, chubby doesn't mean always healthy. So when your child is becoming chubby, ensure that you check it with your doctor to know what is the matter. Is the child healthy or not? Like finding it out early is more important because you can save that child from being obese or having other problems in later life. Why do we care so much about malnutrition? Everywhere you go, malnutrition. Why malnutrition is so important to us as a mothers or community or something like that? Because malnutrition is affects every part of child's life. It's not just about one time illness, it affects every aspect. It affects their growth, including their height and weight, their brain development, and it affects their brain development. So if the brain it doesn't like grow or like develop as expected, the child may suffer from low IQ and everything. Their immunity, yes, malnutrition also affects immunity, which makes your child to always feel sick, keep falling sick. Even their future earning power, when your child doesn't have enough nutrients, he doesn't have the enough energy, enough calorie, enough IQ, like he will be suffering from low IQ, and that child will not be getting something. Will not he is at risk of having more failure in his future. So that's why malnutrition is a major health problem, and it's not just a major health problem; it's a future problem. So we need to step in and take our responsibility very diligently. So the good news is that malnutrition can be prevented and can be reversed even in most of the cases it's something that is reversible, and you can prevent malnutrition. So how can we prevent malnutrition? Calm down and see. You can prevent malnutrition even from the start. Yes, Feeding from the start, I mean from during pregnancy. From during pregnancy, you need to eat a healthy food as a parent so that your child will grow and develop perfectly without any issues with all the good nutrients that your baby needs. The next thing is exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months. Yes, you need to feed that baby exclusively for 6 months because it will help to support the increase your baby's immunity. It will also allow the baby to have all the nutrients he needed and also prevent dehydration and malnutrition. The second thing is complementary feeding with diverse foods. Yes, because many parents, when they have a complementary feeding, the first thing that comes to their mind is pap. Yes, it's pap. But actually, complementary feeding is not just about pap. It's augmenting different kind of foods to your baby so that he will have all the varieties of nutrients the baby needs. Adding local foods like beans, fish, carrots, and leafy greens and everything. So because like you don't need to stress out that I need to buy cereal or I need to buy all the canned foods or something. Your baby doesn't need all those of foods. Your baby needs all the local foods that you eat, but ensure that you include beans, fish, and everything so that the child will be healthy. The if the last one is avoiding too much processed foods and sugar food. Yes, and especially in my community, we thought that eating processed foods or having a processed food means you are enjoying life or you are eating something very delicious, but you don't know that you are eating poison. So stop feeding your babies with all the processed foods and sugar. As a mom, as a caregivers and communities, we can change the story of malnutrition. So, Mama, remember, malnutrition is not just about hunger, it's also the wrong foods. Let's give our children not just enough food, but the right nutrients. Right food, right nutrients. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with another parent, and subscribe to my channel. Don't miss out our tomorrow's video. Don't miss tomorrow's video in our malnutrition awareness campaign. The science of malnutrition. Together, we can raise a healthy children. Thank you.